Hey guys, so today we have a mini tea of things happening on all sorts of different social media platforms. So if you want more of this kind of content, subscribe, hit that bell, like and comment for engagement so that my videos actually get pushed out. And if you don't, what's a big inconvenience that I could threaten you guys with, because that's a new thing on this channel. I just threaten you guys. I didn't think this through. Your favorite product, you're gonna use it up without realizing, and when you go to buy it, it's out of stock. So now you have to use products that you don't like instead until that product comes back in stock, and that is an inconvenience if I've ever heard one. Let's get into it. Jaclyn Hill recently had her new launch on Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. If you guys don't know, obviously Jaclyn has done a lot of products over the years. She did Gerard Cosmetics, Morphe, Becca. She did the face palette, she did Champagne Pop, she did the eyeshadow palette that had to be recalled. I think everyone forgets about that one because that one was kind of like quick and quiet, you know? Morphe palette, the big one, the first one. Vault, lipsticks, palette. No, highlighter palette. And now we have her own launches. Wow, there is a lot of products to get through here. She's obviously now stopped collabing with other brands after her last, I'm assuming Morphe, the Morphe Volume 2 palette was probably just in her contract and she couldn't get out of it because it takes about 6 months to a year to plan and release a product. So she's probably working on that with Morphe for a year. I think she probably wouldn't have done it if it was like now. I'm assuming now she's going to be focusing less on collabs and more on actual like her own products. So she released obviously lipsticks that were a big flop, big mess. Iconic moment in makeup history. She then released her highlighters, which were actually really good. There were like no hiccups with that. Nothing really went wrong. However, she did say they were limited edition. I'm going to get into why that annoyed me. She said they were limited edition, and even recently, as far as like a month ago, people were like, oh, are the highlights coming back? And she said, no, they were limited edition. They are never coming back. You know when Jaclyn Hill says something is limited edition, it's actually never limited edition. It's going to come back many times over. So if you think it's like, oh my God, like some scarce resource, you're like, I can't, I have to get it now. It's going to come back in a year and then it's going to stick around for ages. To this day, you can still buy her first Morphe palette, and I think that was supposed to be limited edition as far as I'm concerned. So she recently released blushes and bronzers. So I was actually going to buy them, and then for some reason I just didn't. I was going to buy them and review them for my second channel, and I was just like, I don't see the point of paying basically double the price for a Jaclyn Hill product. I think someone from the UK, anyway, someone with international shipping said that the shipping was, I think, $20 or $40, something along those lines. I think she said 20. And then obviously you get customs and duties on top of that because you're importing something from America and it doesn't state on the checkout page that they're going to cover the taxes and duties. So that insinuates you're going to be covering them. So I would end up with another 20% of the order plus £8 for customs and duties. So that's like £20 shipping, 20%. Let's say I ordered like a £50 order, that would be another £10 on top of that, plus another £8. That's basically £40 on top of already quite expensive products. So I was just like, am I willing to basically spend double what everyone else is spending to have maybe okay bronzers and blushes? I don't know. Am I willing to do that? Let me know. So she relaunched her highlighters. That was supposed to be out of stock. She just added like different shades and brought back the really popular shades. Of course it's not out of stock. Of course it's not like special limited edition. It's never limited edition. So you can get the highlighters now that were apparently supposed to never come back, but you can get them now. So if you want to try the highlighters, they're back. The blushes and bronzers come in duos. Now, what's the issue with that? I go through bronzers much quicker than I go through blush. I pile on the bronzer and it's obviously a slightly larger section of my face. Blush, it's a little bit here, a little bit on my chin, but like it's much less. So you're gonna go through the bronzer before the blush. That's why I'm kind of like mixed about mixing bronzers and blushes. Also, if I want to get multiple shades of the blush, which I usually do, I usually get multiple shades of blushes from different companies. I don't want different shades of bronzer. Like once I find a good shade of bronzer from a brand, I don't want to try anything else because that's the bronzer that quite clearly works for me. So if I wanted to get like 3 of the fair to light blushes from Jaclyn, I'll have to also get 3 fair to light bronzers, which you can't really tell the difference on your face of how they look because they're all kind of fair to light. Like, why do I need 3 bronzers? I don't know. So I didn't get them because they're duos. And as a whole, packaging looks great. I didn't hear any problems with checkout, anything like that. Shipping went smoothly because of the lipsticks. Even the shipping was bad. Like, people were paid for expedited shipping and they were waiting longer than people that didn't pay for expedited shipping. So that was a mess. But here, everything seems to go smoothly. I watched a few reviews and I watched a few smaller creators that bought the blushes and the bronzers, and they said that it was fine. It was very, like, not super pigmented, it was super buildable, so it's actually good for people that don't like to pile on the bronzer and the blush, or people that are just starting out in makeup that don't want to get too wild with their makeup look. But if you are looking for something more pigmented, then maybe that's just not the one for you. But as a whole, it looked fine. But then I think it was Nicole Concilio said that her bronzer was coming out patchy and she didn't like how the swatches were coming out. Now, I never swatch bronzers and blushes because I feel like they're not supposed to swatch the same way eyeshadows are supposed to swatch. So when I swatch a blush and it's barely showing up on my skin, I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna look fine when I apply it to my face. Like, I never really swatch bronzers or blushes, and they do tend to come out a little bit patchy on the hand for some reason, but then they blend out fine. I tend to not swatch like face products other than highlighters because I think they're quite fun to swatch. So she swatched it, the swatches didn't come out fine, but to me that's not really a red flag when it comes to bronzers and blushes. And then she gave the bronzers kind of a lower rating. She said that they kind of looked patchy on her skin, but then I watched a different YouTuber who said that they are not patchy at all, but you just have to build them up a lot. I don't know, maybe it's just like what complexion products they used. But then Samantha Ravndal, actually, who's another big creator, she posted the swatches on her arm on Twitter, and she said the swatches looked really bad. She was like, I'm very confused. She was like, I just got these in PR and I swatched them and I'm very confused. But she didn't name Jaclyn Hill, but people are like, well, they are blush and bronzer duos, so they're probably the Jaclyn Hill product. Like I said, I think I don't swatch bronzers and blushes on my hands, so I don't think swatches are ever something that turns me off from bronzer and blush. I just try on my face. But maybe Samantha will try them out in a video and also dislike them. But I've just had very conflicting reviews now. So there are some people that really like the product, some people really hate them. I don't know, I feel like this is not as big of a deal as the lipsticks. Like, any brand has products that some people love, some people hate. So I feel like as long as there's no like shards of glass or shards of metal in the bronzer blush duos, then I'm fine. And I'm hoping she starts selling with some kind of a UK retailer or has a UK website, because I'm just not willing to pay that much for shipping. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that happened. There are very conflicting opinions on the internet right now, but I'm not seeing many reviews. I'm seeing a few reviews, but as a whole, this seems to be somewhat like a quiet launch because people are not posting videos about this. Then we have Trisha, switching up the vibe slightly. Jeffree Star seems to be dating Trisha's ex called Sean. Sean was Trisha's ex, and out of that relationship came a few really big videos on her channel, like 100 million views kind of videos. She also had one of her most iconic kitchen floor breakdowns over his relationship. They seem to be friendly now, so that's fine. I think they're okay. But it seems like Jeffree Star's posting a few pictures of the guy's commenting under Jeffree Star's pictures. They're not showing the actual face, but people are making comparisons of like, this is how he looks and this is this. They also showed like a few pictures of him and like the background is similar, whatever. Basically, apparently Jeffree Star's dating Trisha's ex. I don't think Trisha cares because she is with Moses now and they're married, and also they broke up ages ago. So I don't think she cares, and it's kind of petty if Jeffree Star's now going for Trisha's ex just because Trisha's publicly bashing him. But that is a Jeffree Star thing to do. He just tries to find a way to hurt people's feelings, but it's like, Trisha's in a happy, healthy relationship. She's about to be married. Like, why do you think she cares about not even her past ex, but her past ex? I think Jeffree Star went from being like the evil villain and like being manipulative behind the scenes to now just like, he's not even good at that. He's not even good at being a bad person anymore. It's like getting a little bit boring. It's a little embarrassing if you ask me. But if it's not true, then he's just dating a guy that's very similar to her ex. James Charles. Recent situation. We know what happened. If you don't know what happened, I'll link the videos in the description. And I won't forget to do it this time because I forgot to do it last time. When do I not forget the links? Anyway, so he posted a YouTube video finally. So he skipped last Friday and he was actually supposed to do a collab with people, but he skipped last week and he skipped the collab. And this week he did a different video where he destroyed his palette and painted like a picture with his palette. And all the comments are good under the video. So people are like, is he blocking words? Is he deleting comments? What's happening? The like to dislike seems to be fine. And he's just completely moved on from the conversation. He's moved on from the topic. He doesn't care. His fans don't care. He's just posting videos. I feel like at this point he's uncancelable because of the initial cancelling. People don't want to cancel him again, but also because he's so huge at this point and he's so huge on so many different platforms that the cancelling seems to only stay on one platform. So like, he gets cancelled on one platform, but he's fine on all the other ones. Like, this was a Twitter moment, but he was fine on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If it happened on YouTube, then he would be fine on all the other platforms. I feel like with him, it's just so spread out now that it's hard to cover all the bases. And it's not someone as huge as Tati exposing him again. So I feel like it's just very difficult to cancel him if that's what people are going for. He posts on IG like normal, like Instagram stories. He's posting like nothing's happening. Posted a YouTube video. Everything seems to be going back to normal. I don't think he'll speak about this ever again. That's just my opinion. Also, there's this really awkward Noah and Dixie interview about James Charles. So they're both caught in the car and Noah's like fumbling to move the car and like get it out of the parking lot before they continue to ask questions. Dixie's just like, I'm on my phone, I'm fine. And they're asking like, oh, what do you think about this whole James Charles scandal? And Noah's just like, I love James. I'm trying to like reverse out of the parking lot. I just think it's really awkward.
How has Sister James been holding up with all the controversy?
Love James.
Love James.
Yeah.
How are you guys like rocking with his new merch?
I'm slowly backing up.
Slowly backing up, Noah. Don't you do it, Noah.
For some reason, I do this thing where like at night, I'll be really tired and I'll go on Twitter and I'll see something. I won't screenshot it, but I'll just like remember a piece of tea that I need to remember for the next day. Instead of just screenshotting it or screen recording it in my like sleepy state, I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. I won't do anything about this right now. Or I wake up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. because I don't know, Phoebe does something. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll probably remember to do that tomorrow. I'll remember to find this again. And I never find it again because somehow things happen in the middle of the night and then they just never reappear on my timeline ever again. So that's really cool. I saw this interview with Lorraine and I don't know if it's a lucid dream. Like, I don't know if I was dreaming that I watched this video. Can someone please find this video for me? Because I searched the internet for this video and I'm scared that it was a TikTok and that's why I can't find it again. I don't know why I didn't just save the TikTok. And on TikTok you can't search stuff, so I can't find this thing anymore. It was basically someone, it must have been either the Hollywood Fix guy or Kevin Wong, was walking behind Lorraine and I know, imagine if I dreamed this and I'm just making up rumors for fun. Anyway, don't take this as 100% a deal, okay? I could have just dreamed this and it doesn't exist. Imagine if this is actually true. I just want someone to find this video for me, okay? So I'm putting out a plea right now, please find me this video. I'm desperate to see it again. So one of the guys is following Lorraine around and they ask him about James Charles and he says that he doesn't know, I mean, he's fine. He hasn't really spoken to James Charles in the last few days. And then people, I think in the comments, it must have been a TikTok. I must have seen this on TikTok, I just didn't save it. Stupid. And people are saying, but he posted a TikTok with James 6 days ago. Can someone find me this TikTok? Can someone find me this video of Lorraine getting interviewed about James Charles? Anyway, that either actually happened or I dreamed this and it's starting to get a little concerning that my dreams are made up drama. I'm dreaming drama. Anyway, if you find this video for me, link in description. It'll probably end, like the comment will probably end up in spam because YouTube doesn't let links through. So if you're linking something, it usually ends up in spam or held for review. But I'll go through my held for review this one time on this one video because I usually don't go into there because it's a mess. YouTube puts a bunch of inappropriate stuff in there. So I'll go through and I'll check it out. I'll see if we have found this video, and if it doesn't exist, then I've just told you a fake story that happened in my dream. That's really concerning. Please don't spread this message as if it's like true. Please let this be a little secret under this video where we try to look for this drama. And if it doesn't exist, then we'll just never talk about it ever again. And act like I didn't just tell you fake drama. Because I have it written down and I couldn't find it. And I don't want to say this as if it's a real story if it isn't. This is really concerning, actually. Anyway, last story for today. We have Zoe. Not Zoe Laverne. No. Zoella. Zoe Sugg. And I need to stop calling her Zoella because she doesn't really go by that anymore. She's called Zoe Sugg. I'm like emotional right now. She's pregnant with a girl. The girl will come in September. I'm just very happy, honestly. I feel like this is what my 12-year-old would have really dreamed of happening. And I'm happy for my 12-year-old self and I'm happy for Zoe and Alfie. I don't really like Alfie. You know how I feel about Alfie days, but like I'm very happy for Zoe and Alfie on their new journey as parents. This is just so full circle. I liked Zoe, then had a little blip with Zoe, and now I like her again. And she's pregnant. It's really fun. Anyway, that's today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. Hit that bell. You'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any other links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.